Hey guys, it's Brandy. I'm going to film today while I make this card using a stamp set by Stampendous. It's called My Swishes, and I'm using this stamp here and then this sentiment, have a sweet day. So I'm going to be using some distress inks for my backgrounds. I'm actually going to be using it around the edges of the card itself, and then just stamping the image onto a piece of paper with the sentiment and placing that on top. So we'll start out with the card base that I have here, and I'm going to be using mostly picked raspberry distress ink, and then for the edges I'll be using seedless preserves. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. So the distress inks are pretty awesome. They are by Tim Holtz, and he does a pretty fantastic job. He actually just recently came out with a new product called Distress Oxides. Let me figure this out here. So, and I have yet to buy any of those, but I hear that those are pretty amazing. And I hear that they do different things than the distress inks. So I'll have to try them out and buy them and try them out myself. But I've watched him use them on YouTube, and he creates some pretty awesome stuff. So, this is my first video actually creating something. Usually I just do haul videos, so if you guys have any tips or anything that I could use or that you recommend using that you guys have figured out while filming, please let me know, because I mean, the more help I can get, the better I can get at making these videos. So my husband's been on me all weekend trying to get me to make a video, and I finally did it. My daughter's sleeping, and I'm sure my husband is sleeping by now because I've made this card like 15 times on this video, but I just haven't liked the way it looked on video. So and now I'm using seedless preserves mainly on the edges of the card, because if I use it more in the card, it doesn't turn out right, and I don't like the look. So I'm just mainly just taking my sponge here, distress tool, and just going around the edges of the card, like so. And usually I use like black soot for this, but I like this purple color with the pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. So I just went around the edges here. And you gotta be careful if you get stuff on your fingers, because if you do that and then you touch a white piece of paper, it could transfer onto that, and then you're gonna have like a big old smudge. So there's my background, and then here I'm gonna be putting this on top of that. So we'll set that aside. Now I'm gonna be using, I already had this together. I'm going to be using my Stamp Perfect tool, which is similar to the Misty tool, but this one actually is not out in stores anymore that I know of. I believe they took them off the shelves because they were too similar to the Misty, and Misty was going to go and sue them and stuff like that because they copyrighted, or I don't know the whole story, but they no longer make these and have these out in the store that I know of. So if you guys are looking for a tool like this, look for the Misty tool, or Tim Holtz has come out with one as well. And I'm not sure, but I think somebody else has too. But I know of those two for sure. So just look out for those. But what's nice about these is you use these instead of an acrylic block. So, and if you're a card maker, you might want to invest in one of these, because you can make the same card over and over and over again. This basically is like your acrylic block, and you place your piece of paper that you want to stamp on inside here, and it comes with this foam insert right here. So this can come out, but I leave it in there because that way whenever I stamp, my image is crisper because it's like a spongy material, so it kind of soaks in the stamp more, I think. And then you just take these two magnets, place one on top, one there. That way it holds your paper into place. Here, this way you guys can see me actually doing this. Set that out of the way. And then I'm just taking my Memento ink and stamping it. And what's nice is you can stamp this over and over. So let's say you don't think you got the whole, you wanted the image darker, or if some of the stamp didn't stamp right, which this stamp tends to not do that. So this is how I want it on the card. So I just push down, and that way you can stamp two stamps at once. You can stamp multiple stamps at once. So just like so, and if you see, that does not stamp as well. There. So what I do is I just re-ink it. So I take my ink, just re-ink it. And since it's in the same spot, and I didn't move my stamp at all, I can just take this back over and stamp it. Like so. And I still think that needs to be a little darker. So I'll try again. You can do this as many times as you want. So until you're happy with the image. So let's hope this is the last time. There, I think that looks a little better. So then I'm just going to take this off here. And I'm going to clean up my stamps real quick before I close this. Just so that the ink doesn't stay on there and stain the stamp. And the reason why I use Memento ink is because it works well with Copics, which I'm going to be using to color my stamps in with. So since this is still a little wet, I'm going to take some embossing powder from Recollections, clear, and I'm just going to do the sentiment only. Just cover the sentiment with this powder. And there's different colors you can use, but I'm using clear. That way the black shines through. You just shake off the excess. And then I'm going to take my embossing tool here, heat tool, by Paper Studios. And I'm going to turn it on high. Let it heat up a little. And take this. Just like so. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it kind of makes it like raised a little bit and creates texture. So there's that. And be careful because these do get hot. And there's different heat tools out there, but I just have that one, so it works for me. So I got that done. But yeah, there's different embossing powders out there, and I'm going to show a thing in a different video showing how you can use this embossing powder and resist the ink. So like you might have like pink underneath, but then you ink over it with purple and the pink shows through. So I'll be doing a video on that here after a while once I find some more time. But so I'm going to go ahead and start coloring this with Copics. I'm going to start with the basket, and I'm going to use these two colors for the basket. I'm going to start with the Napoli yellow, the Y19. And I'm just going to color this real quick. And I was going to cut this out, like fussy cutting, using some scissors that are similar to Tim Holtz. Here. I was going to use these by Paper Studio to cut out my image and then place it on the card. Kind of like what I did at this one attempt. Let me try to get it. Yeah. I cut it out, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looks good, but it didn't turn out like I wanted, so we're just doing it on the paper itself. But yeah, you can fussy cut these, and because not every stamp comes with matching dies that you can run through your your Cuttlebug or your Big Shot, so sometimes you just gotta fussy cut it, and it could be a pain in the butt sometimes, but some people find it therapeutic. But I'm just stamping it on the card because it takes forever to fussy cut. I tried to fussy cut it while doing my video, and my video went up to like 30 minutes and I still was not done. So maybe I'll show you a simpler image to fussy cut on camera if I haven't figured out how to speed it up. So now I'm going to do the mouse, and I'm going to start out using Brick Beige E31. And my other stamped image that I did with the mouse, I accidentally did him way darker than I wanted, but he still turned out pretty cute. So you can color these any color you want, like just use whatever you have. Me, I just use just the few colors that I have. I don't have very many Copic markers. I have quite a few. I have a good amount, but not a lot. They're kind of pricey, so always make sure you use a coupon with these. So I start out with the lighter color first, and then I'm going to go in with Hazelnut, which is E23. And I'm going to darken them up a little. Mainly where his hair is. But he looks so comfy in there. I thought this stamp set was cute, so I had to get it. So I did that real quick, and now I'm going to make his nose like this pale purple. You can color the flower any color you want. I'm going to start out doing the stem first, which I'm going to start out with the Celadon Green. But yeah, that's what's nice about these. Whenever you color, it's like big kid coloring. You can color these any color you want. You can use your imagination. You don't have to use common colors. Like for the stem, you could do purple if you wanted, or red, whatever color you want. But I'm just trying to make this bright and colorful and pretty. So next color I'm going to use is Willow on the stem, and I'm just going to darken it up underneath where the petals are, and then more towards the end of it where he's kind of holding it. And then for the flower, I'm going to start out with Cotton Candy color. I figured the pink would look really good with the background using Tim Holtz's Distress Inks. So, and I can create multiple cards using the same image and just do different colors if I wanted, and use different sentiments. Right now I'm just using Have a Sweet Day, just kind of basic. But I could use this as like a Mother's Day card, as a happy birthday, or just to say hello. You can even use this on your scrapbook layouts if you wanted. So really you can use this pretty different way, in multiple different ways. So I'm using this prune next. And I'm mainly doing towards the center of the flower with this. And then I'm going to use this dark purple. It's light hydrangeas. I'm going to use that in the center. Just like so. And then around him you can either do dirt, you can do grass, but I'm going to do water. So I'm going to start with Tahitian blue. So I'm going to make it look like he's like floating in water, basically. But yeah, you can make him look like he's just on grass. So it's completely up to you on what you want him floating on. Then I'm going to come in with a darker, I'm going to get a little bit more by his tail. There we go. I'm going to come in with a darker color, peacock blue. And I mainly do where the dark spots are. Just like so. Blend it a little bit. And there's your image. Pretty little mouse. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, here's the background, and I figured this would look nice here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Distress Ink Black Soot, and I'm going to go around the edges of this part. But before I do that, I want to place foam on the back of this, because last time I did that and I did the black soot, it ended up smearing all over the front of the card. So I'm going to try doing this way. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Labor Day weekend here in the United States, or at least around me. We have Labor Day tomorrow, so we have no work tomorrow, which is exciting. So maybe I'll be able to create another video tomorrow. But did you guys create anything crafty this weekend? If so, please share in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys are creating. What you guys did this weekend. We had some car shows around us, because our neighborhood's pretty well known for cars. Okay, so I did that, but I'm leaving the plastic backing on, that way I'm not going to accidentally stick it in the wrong spot. So now I'm going to take some black soot. I'm going to just go around the edges of the card. Front. And the reason why I put foam on it was so that it creates some sort of dimension on the card and it's not just some flat background. So I did that. Now I'm going to take off the plastic, the lining on the foam tape. Just like so. And then I'm going to put that in the center of the card. And there we have it. A simple card. That way it's not so close. So I hope this helped give you guys some ideas and show you what all this can do. But this is one of the cards I created, and I hope you like it, and I hope it gave you guys some inspiration to create your own. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you guys later. Bye.